Okay. So question 1, because I didn't count, that the weight of the will, heavier or lighter than you anticipated?
Much heavier.
Really?
It's a heavy son of a gun to get going.
And did it feel resistant, or was it just like something, or was it just the
It was
weight?
just heavy.
Wow. Okay, number 2, you obviously at bankrupt you didn't win, so you left with the cash prize that is awarded, right? There's a minimum.
I think
that
I
they
got
give.
$2,000 or something for getting the first puzzle.
Yeah. Do they give you?
They send you straight upstairs to a little office to fill out tax forms, get a W-2, the whole thing.
That was my question.
What
What
did he
is
split?
the afterwards thing? Do they hand you the check? Do you go upstairs? Do they mail it to you? You go upstairs and you fill out your form and you get your money.
That's it. Yeah, you got to. By the time that we filmed that episode, it was you got to be there like 4 a.m, super early. And then I bet it was maybe 1, 2 o'clock because you record like 6 a day. Mine was maybe the last one, but I was falling asleep.
Wow.
It's everything in there is so disorienting. It looks like, here's the wheel. The puzzles are like right ahead of you. It's not like that. There's like this weird crowd here. You're facing kind of sideways. The letters that have already been called are like up here and to the left. The board's over here. And the whole time they're telling you, get your energy up, like be happy. And so you're having to be
just
somebody
confused.
you're not. Like, it's just a lot going on. It's
Wow.
harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Wild.
And but really nice. Everybody's really nice. Pat was. So I was in the red spot. That's the one that's closest to him, right? Red. Anyways,
More of a feud
I was
girl.
standing right next to him. We would go to commercial, and they do run out and like dab you up, makeup and
Yeah.
stuff. But he was a super cool dude, and like because I kept doing all the work and then hitting bankrupt, and he was like, "Damn, man." I was like, "I know, right?"
Yeah.
He was really cool about it. Nice guy.
Well, cool. Well, we need to do an official welcome here, but I have more questions and not nearly enough answers about your Wheel of Fortune experience.
Okay.
Okay?
I think we can circle back.
Oh, we will.
circle
Yeah,
back.
no.
We have
we're-
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obligatory introductions here. Who we got in the studio with us today?
I'm Chloe with the Cincinnati office.
I'm Grace with the Batesville office.
Awesome. Well, welcome in, guys. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Jeff, you may not know this, but this is Chloe's second appearance.
I do know that.
Yeah.
But the first time in the studio. Now, how's that possible?
Well, because the first time she did the audio only version in your office.
That's right.
did.
I was
We were-
there.
when you were
Yeah.
clicking that space bar
That's
on your
right.
computer. and
This
then we
must have
started.
been, I don't know, 1994 when we shot that or something. How long ago was that?
You know what was probably good? We were limited to 30 minutes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Or it would
Yes.
cut you off.
Yeah.
We might need that now. We
I
just get
had
going.
watched a couple back and I was like, okay, so the 30-minute timer stopped.
Yeah, no.
That has ended. Okay.
Oh, and speaking of timers,
We're starting to see what part of the problem is.
Well, my favorite third character on the show is Jeff's alarm.
Yeah, it scares me every single
time.
time. It's always perfectly timed to ruin a great moment, is what I know about that alarm.
Well, you have
Right.
to know that everybody listening to immediately checks their phone
Yeah.
for their alarm going off or the immediate people around them too.
No, that makes sense.
that's
It's
part
fun
of
for it's interactive for everybody.
Now,
Well, you were a great guest. You're an all-time legend guest. So, Grace,
Not
you're
for
going to
good
have to
reasons though.
step
I
it
know,
up.
I have to step up my game.
All right, here we go.
I think I set the bar pretty low
Yeah.
with the profanity.
Now, so sometimes folks will wonder, like, how do you get on this podcast? And in your case, we sent out the company-wide request, and you emailed back, right, and said, me and Chloe would love to come on. But I didn't hear from Chloe. So I was like,
I volunteered her.
I was like, I wonder if Chloe. So I waited a little while. I'm like, man, I don't know that Chloe even knows about this.
You think I was gonna follow up? No.
That would
Actually,
have been well, because sometimes we do have a couple directors that will volunteer people in their office. They'll be like, "You should have," and I'll email back like, "Are they interested?" Like, "I don't know. You should ask them." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Well, that's I don't want to make them." Like, so how did you two arrange where this is because you guys are different
Yeah.
offices, right? But you neighbor each other,
Right.
How did this come about?
yeah. Well, Grace, you came to me with this.
Yeah, so we were in Chicago. I think this started at our meeting in Chicago. Will came up to me, said me and Amber needed to do the podcast.
Okay.
Amber is totally against that. You pulled her out in Orlando.
Yeah.
And I think in Orlando, me and Chloe happened to be just next to each other talking, and he mentioned it again, brought the podcast up, and I was like, well, I'll go if Chloe goes.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
Yeah.
And then I liked Grace enough. I felt bad saying.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you guys know each other
No,
Like,
just
okay,
out, just
from
from
that,
Village.
Yeah,
just
just
from the
from work.
meetings.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
okay.
just from Orlando, I think was the first time we met in person,
Yeah.
really.
and we've hit it off ever
Yeah.
since. Yeah.
You must
Going on
have
a road
talked
trip?
before then, though, right? Your offices are close, and you spun
just
off
kind of
into
like-
Through the phone.
Batesville.
Yeah,
Chatted.
through the phone or like
Right,
we'll
okay.
just call or text their office.
Yeah.
But not like Chloe to Grace
Right.
interaction.
I would
Just
have
kind of hit it
thought-
off.
This is it. Make notes of this. These are interesting findings that we're stumbling upon here, Jeff.
How long have each one of you been with the company now?
Every
4
question is
years
going
in
to
June.
every question is going to feel this way now.
I'm taking notes. What'd you say? 4 years in June?
4 years in June.
Whoa!
Oh, it
I know.
flew by. It
Gosh,
really flew.
thank you.
I know. It's been
I'm still
Grace?
fresh. A year in April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming up on a year, and Chloe on 4. How's it going? Tell the people that don't know you. Talk a little bit about your position, your day-to-day duties in the office.
Sure. You want me to go? So I'm the director of operations. We both are director of operations for each of our offices. And so we manage kind of the day-to-day of the influx of caregiver issues or client issues. We make sure people are where they need to be, so that if they're not showing up, we're usually the first ones calling and telling them, where are you? What are you doing? Monitor CRM and all that fun stuff that goes behind all of that.
Triple checking care sheets.
Yeah, taking them all in, hunting people down for care sheets, a lot of that, and then data entry. I feel like is half of it. Just kind of getting all of everybody's information into the computer. That way it's usable.
Yeah. Authorizations, referrals. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just general humor, good humor, jokes
Yeah.
every now and then.
Oh, that's
I feel
important.
I bring that also to the
Yeah.
Yeah.
We bring all of that to the team.
team.
Now, who do you work with? Who's
I
at your
work
office?
with Philip and Emily in the
Yeah.
Cincinnati office.
This is a throwback. They can't even do the video feed back into when this happened. But in your original podcast, we described it as Philip kicked a door open. For some
sure
reason,
did.
hands-free. We don't remember why.
Yeah.
He kicked the door open and stormed into your former employer and demanded
Yes.
that you come work for Village Care or something similar to that. I
Yeah.
don't remember the exact story.
He wouldn't take no for an answer.
That's if we could do some type of image with Philip with a cowboy
Yeah.
hat on. I don't know
Yeah.
why that's
Get that,
important,
yeah.
but feel free to do that. Okay.
Put that
The-
animation.
Cowboy
clip in.
hat is key.
You can't think if you're thinking a regular cowboy hat, you're thinking wrong. Big cowboy hat.
And if
okay?
you're thinking sleeves, you've immediately gone wrong as well. So sleeveless. He's gonna love this.
Kingsley, create me an image of a 6'4",
yeah.
Oh, he's gonna love that
handsome.
too.
young to middle-aged, good-looking, strapping fella in a cowboy hat, kicking a door down
With a Marshall shirt.
with a Marshall shirt.
Okay, we'll wait on that. While we wait, who do you work with?
You ain't gonna wait.
I
long.
work with Amber Liegaber, executive director and RN,
And you guys are over in the Batesville, Indiana
Yeah.
office. Yeah, cool.
and newly hired full-time RN.
Really? Awesome. Well, that's exciting. We're still working on it?
We're working on it.
Okay.
Well,
oh, my God.
Well, he's gonna like this.
Let's see. Wow, spitting image.
I'll text
Wow,
that to you.
that's a flashback. Wow.
There it is. Is that how you remember
That's
it?
exactly how it happened.
That's a flashback.
Spot on.
I mean, it kind of looks
That's
like
exactly the shirt too.
Wow.
Well, it is important that you have humor in the office. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for some of that back where I work.
Absolutely.
I
Cool.
know.
Can't get any in.
No.
What's Grace? I was gonna say, how does your job compare to where you came from? Chloe, you've been here long enough now. You don't remember anything else.
No.
Grace, how is Village Caregiving compared to where you worked before?
A lot of communication, solving issues, whether it's kind of compared to caregivers and customers in the financial world. Building relationships is a huge part when opening accounts at a financial institution or building that relationship when you're meeting a client for the first time, I think, is very comparable.
In your office, obviously, you work with Amber. You're bringing on a new employee soon. So, excited? It's going to be an all-star office.
Yeah.
You guys ever have competition with each other?
No.
I'm back.
Me and Grace, or
Well,
in
just
the office.
Batesville, Cincinnati. Obviously it'd be healthy and friendly, but just kind of like looking at the reports, being like,
Look,
not catching us this month, something like
we
that.
want to be the best.
We
all the
definitely congratulate each other on
Yeah.
our little successes. Like, we'll get a text from Philip saying, "Hey, you made the RJ report top 10." Yeah, but
That's cool.
time. Yeah.
if anything, friendly competition.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a lot of crossover anymore just because they have Indiana and we don't anymore.
Right.
So it's nice to see like them still winning and getting. We still tell the VA, call them, call Amber.
Yeah.
She'll take care of it. She's got it. Grace has got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. We were talking when we started the show about being on the Wheel of Fortune. Have either of you ever been on television? It can even be local news.
I have been on the local news once.
Really?
I have one time.
Local news, maybe.
Maybe.
I
That'd be
think.
the biggest thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
What was your story?
Well, unfortunately, my mom
Cuffed.
knows everybody.
Okay.
So she knows one of the local reporters, and we ran into him when he was reporting.
Yeah.
And he asked if we knew about the story he was reporting about, and I did. And I said I did.
Oh.
And so he asked my thoughts, and
Yeah.
I gave him my thoughts, and he said, "Let's get that on air." And I said, "Let's not. Let's not do that."
So you were on the Cincinnati News?
Yeah, at
Holy
night.
cow, that's a major market.
It was a fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was exciting. I saw a brief clip of it, but I didn't need to see any more of it.
What was your take on the news?
Well, so it was just about a story in the area. A local woman had gotten shot in the face. Just
In the face?
yeah, just a complete
Well, someone knew her.
drive by. Well, no, it's just a
that's
complete
not
drive
true.
by.
No,
Just
it never goes that way.
No, she
Okay.
worked at a bar, and I was working in the beer industry at the time, so I knew her, and I knew this bar, and it was
Is this
at
real?
the Lachey's. Yeah, it was at Lachey's,
Okay.
which is owned by Nick Lachey, and his brother Drew in the city, or formerly. And so it was big news in the city, and it was a big deal. She was one of their general managers, and
What was the question you were asked?
Did she
it
deserve
was
it?
around the holidays, so it was like, how do you
didn't
feel
know.
with all this going on in the holidays? And the show, we were at the Aronoff, and it was a show benefiting her in this situation. And so I just said, I know her family. This is really sad, and this
I
is really
see.
hard, but she's tough. And yeah, they were just asking my opinion.
Did things work out?
Oh yeah, she's totally fine now. Yeah, she's
What a great
back
story.
and better than ever.
Man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, shot in the face.
What were you on the news for, Grace?
I don't know if I was. I'm probably like
I don't know either because I don't ever go home and watch it. I'm sure I have been.
I don't ever watch the news.
Do you have a
maybe-
kind of personality where if you were walking through someplace and a reporter said, "Hey, would you mind to just give a comment?" Would you generally be like, "Sure,
Sure,
yeah, I don't
hop in."
care either."
Yeah.
I don't know why anybody would really care what I have to say about it, but
Well,
I'll
that's-
stop and talk to you.
I mean, maybe
That's why I was wondering why I
we-
got here.
Yeah. We graduated, our high school graduated in 2020, so COVID. And that was a huge thing. So they might have, Channel 12 might have popped in. I don't know.
Did you graduate around the year of COVID as well, or was you?
Close.
I graduated in the 90s.
Oh, wow. Did they have pandemics back then?
I think there might
thought
have
it was
been a
polio.
bird.
Yeah, we hit a sweet spot between the pandemics.
What was the big sickness in the 90s? I don't even remember.
Mad cow disease. Remember, everyone was scared to death. They was going to get mad
Jack
cow
in the
disease.
Box had a breakout of
West Nile.
West
you had to watch
Nile.
the mosquitoes. Have either of you ever entered to go on a TV show? Like,
No.
No.
really?
No, not up my alley.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
You should.
Maybe Family Feud, but
Yeah.
that would be probably it.
Could
Oh,
we?
we have a really close friend that their family went on Family Feud. They actually were so funny and good that they invited them back for a second time.
way.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I'll
One
tell
of my
you about it
childhood
after.
friends, her family was on it too. And we had to watch the VHS tape, but it was
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah.
We should commit right now to hosting a Family Feud Office Edition at one of the upcoming meetings, where we set it up. We have a studio audience. We throw some people on there, and let's just see what happens.
That is good.
Thank you. God, I have good
Office versus
ideas.
office,
I
right?
Oh, it's so great.
Batesville,
I know.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
down.
Get 'em up
Batesville,
there.
Cincinnati.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be hot.
There was, whenever my friend was on there, her name's Lindsay, if you're listening. It was like they won the show, so they're in the final round, and this Steve Harvey, it's pretty recent. You can find this on YouTube, and he says something like, in the last month, how many 10 commandments have you broken? And of course, you're trying to answer really quick. And her sister, I think it was, said 7. And he found it. He got so tickled they had to stop the clock, and he couldn't do it.
know which ones.
Right. And so whenever he goes back and he's reading the answers, he gets back to that one. He's like, I gotta ask, which 3 didn't you break?
How many of the 10 commandments have you broken this month? You.
Not me personally.
You said 7 out of 10. Who does that? In a month. What have you done?
You want me to lie about it?
Who'd you kill? You done stole some stuff? Which one is it? Which one of the 3 didn't she do?
I'm
It's pretty
scared.
hilarious.
Can you admit it on air?
Yeah.
And he got a 0.
Hey, do either of you guys have a famous actor or actress that you're just super passionate about? You guys follow? I know recently we've had a lot of awards show. Is there anyone?
What's her name?
We were
She
just
just
talking
did
about her
an
in the car.
interview.
Yeah, we were just talking about her. She's coming back. She's
She
in a lot of
loves
stuff.
cats.
She's blind. She's married to that guy.
I can't think.
Was it Naomi Watts?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
It was Naomi Watts. That's who we love.
What is she in? Is she famous?
Yes, of course. Yeah,
Really?
what do you mean?
Godzilla.
King Kong.
King Kong.
King Kong.
The new
That's
King
it.
Kong, the remake that they did recently. She's in that.
Have you ever
Yeah.
heard of her?
Yeah. Who is she married to?
Billy Crudup
The heartthrob from
Almost Famous. And also
Yeah.
that morning show.
Something about Naomi Watts just came across my little reels last night. What would that have been?
I have no idea.
I don't
not
remember
on your
either.
phone, Jeff.
She's doing something. I don't remember. We're going nowhere with this.
Moving on.
Grace, what's the biggest surprise you've had since you started working at Village Caregiving?
I'd say probably not feeling like a cog in the machine. Feeling more community based, like you guys truly care about each employee. Trying to get events together, like the new summer event that you added, or Orlando, always trying to bring everyone together
Well, that's great. Thank you.
is a
We
great
try.
surprise.
I mean, that's really tough. It's really, really tough. I care a lot about that, and but you know, it's impossible. You're not going to make everybody happy, and sometimes they disagree with what I think is fair and right, and so it's a really
The point
yeah.
is just getting everyone together, I think, is the best part.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you feel like a
Yeah,
person, not a part of the machine. That's cool.
absolutely.
Chloe, what about you? I mean, it's been 4 years now. Anything
know.
still surprising you to this day?
Well, I was saying in the car, there's been a lot of things that were surprising, and every day a new client story is surprising. I think I'm most surprised that our joke here didn't land with Jeff just a second ago.
So I told him
We
before you
said that was
got
a
here
setup.
that you had read
Yeah.
this interview
Yeah.
about Naomi Watts and
That
how
was a
wasteful
setup.
of the
That was a full
interview it
setup.
was.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. Remember when you had the newspaper the other day and it
Oh,
was,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
I knew I had seen her recently.
he got it, guys.
and we were like throwing, I was like, it was about cats. She doesn't have cat. She said this David Bowie.
Yes.
That's right.
You said that we're going nowhere with this. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean,
He started laughing and he looked back.
my apologies to
No.
Naomi Watts, but I read it was like a 10 questions with Naomi Watts sort of thing, and I didn't really find it interesting enough to remember that well, I guess. I mean, I thought I saw it on like YouTube. Okay, you got me. But I did say that I had seen something recently. What if I had been
That's
like,
right.
I've never heard of this person?
I thought that's where you were going. I'm like, we
hoping you
talked about it
remembered.
for 15 minutes.
Well,
Yeah.
But yeah,
we were at a birthday party the night before, and we had a few glasses of wine.
Blame
I
it on
woke
the
up. I
wine.
was a little groggy, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you want from me?
No,
Jeez. Go on.
but no,
Smarty.
I think the client, definitely just new things that happen with clients or caregivers that that never stops being surprising. The things they tell me,
Yeah.
the things they do.
You thought one thing was surprising, the next day something more surprising happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do have the best stories. I mean, it's every day is
Every
something
other
that
day.
you did not expect to happen.
No.
And then you get to just solve the issue. It's fine. But
Yes, and one thing that kept coming back was when a caregiver or a client had a snake in her pantry. Just a garter snake just got in and was in there, and the caregiver needed to get in the pantry, and she's panicking. She calls us and says, well, "What can you guys do?" And I'm horrified of snakes, like deathly everything in me. I am so scared of snakes. And I was like, I'm sorry, her pantry is now forbidden.
Yeah.
It's gone. Burn it all down. Burn the house down. Take her out. Burn it down. I won't say anything.
Yeah, the snake's got to go.
That's how I am with a spider.
The house is gone.
Burn it down.
The snake owns the house.
Yeah.
That's that.
Take it.
So we called the police department, and they went out there and they took care of it. And then the caregiver took pictures and sent it to us. And it's just sitting on
you got
our
a
phone.
picture of a police officer with a garter snake
Oh, yeah.
yanking it out of the pantry.
That exact, well, hanging it over the yard so that he can hold off his trophy. Yeah.
I see.
I love
If
that.
that's all it was, I would have went and gotten it too. But that would have been my first question. What kind of snake you got in there?
Yeah. I mean, it was a large snake. It's a sizable snake. But no, not me. No, absolutely not. No. That snake owns
I had
the
a pet
house.
snake as a kid that got loose. Same story, I'm sure. And my mom freaked out.
Yeah.
You're going to watch this. You'll obviously remember that was little Willie, my pet green snake, Willie. And finally, it was gone for like days. And everybody was on edge.
Yeah.
And here it comes out from underneath the refrigerator at her one day in the kitchen. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I was not allowed another snake, I
I'm
don't
sorry
think,
to
after that.
Jeff's mom. That is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Joe, we're sorry about that.
Well, think how Willie felt that whole week long. He
Yeah.
didn't know where he was at. I was upset too.
We had a hamster that got out at the house, and I mean, this thing's just running amok through the house. Mom and Dad were so
Not a muck.
It was running amok through that house, making bad decisions
no.
left and right. That's all that hamster could do. I was therefore banned from owning a hamster beyond that.
I just don't think I would ever want to own anything that could get lost that easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You lose a snake in a house, you're lucky to ever find that thing.
Yeah.
Man.
Like I
Right.
said, the snake owns the house now. He's now a property owner.
Yeah, you get it in a pantry. That's good news.
Yeah.
You can get him out of there.
You could. You can, yep.
You know, when that thing's loose, everywhere you go, you're just thinking, is it under that pillow? Is it under that couch? I mean, just
Before you sit down, is he
Yeah.
under the couch?
right. There could be one in here, guys.
Yeah.
Chloe?
Stop.
Chloe?
No.
Huh?
Well, I'm on a stool. So I'm
Well, so we have an old family farm, like back in the 1800s. My grandmother was born there in 1919, raised in it. It's a real old house, right? But we still have it. We still go out there and use it as sort of a hunting cabin. It's, of course, these days kind of falling in, and it's like you drive up a creek bed to get to it. There's this. So every time I go in there, and I stay for a whole week at a time, I know full well there's snakes everywhere. You just walk with heavy feet, and they they scurry away.
Yeah.
It's no biggie.
I was gonna say, you said you're the barn in the year, and I said riddled with snakes in my head.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
is.
riddled with snakes.
It is too. Well, it's a thing whenever you walk in, turn the key, you haven't been up there in a month or two, and the first thing you see is just a 4 foot long shedded skin in the floor. You're like, well, that guy's around here somewhere.
No.
For the viewers at home, my toes are curled into
Yeah.
the soles of my
I
feet.
wonder if we have some people that's so, what's snake phobia?
Is it agoraphobia? No,
Sure.
is that spiders?
I don't know. There was a movie.
Arachnophobia,
Yeah, that's
spiders.
spiders. Yeah.
Spiders, maybe.
I wonder if there's folks that's listening that are so freaked out by snakes they had to move on from this.
Yeah.
Me.
You would, yeah.
I would
Chloe's-
like to press
she
ahead
checked
15
out.
seconds.
I got you.
Okay, let's get on with
Yeah,
it. then.
give me
Let's
something
talk a
else.
little about you outside of work. What do you do? What do you like to do with your free time? Hobbies, interests, arts.
It depends on the season. Summer, fishing,
Okay.
hunting,
Okay.
fall.
Very outdoorsy stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
No hiking, though.
Too boring.
Yeah.
Do you need a purpose when you're out there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, fishing gives you purpose for sure. Hanging out with friends, family, my puppy, Coda.
You know, could we pause for a second and just
Time
say
out,
today is February the 3rd?
Yeah.
My son's 21st birthday.
I gave him a hug
We
today.
saw
Happy
your son
birthday.
on the
We
street
saw him.
earlier.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did.
Hey.
And somebody shouted out, happy birthday.
Yes.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Cam.
Yeah, happy 2-1, right?
21, yeah. Big
happy
day.
Birthday.
Big
yeah.
day.
Big birthday.
Yeah.
But it's 71 degrees is the high today.
Unbelievable.
Have you ever heard of something like that?
Yeah.
No.
I don't recall that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I walked the dog around the lake yesterday at
Yeah.
Barbersville Park, and there were 30 people out there fishing. You could do it right now, February 1st.
I could. After this.
You said summertime. It depends on the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneak it in. Okay, what
Yeah.
else? What kind of stuff you into? Like, read much? What kind of movies you like? What's your favorite music?
I love TV shows. Crime is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is where, like, you
Like
know,
cold case
the lady
files.
kills her husband
Right.
and tries to get away with it, and they nab her.
Yeah. But I have to know who it was. I can't do unsolved mysteries or
Same.
anything like
You
that.
need
That's just-
closure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not satisfying if it's left open.
No. Nope.
Well, we sometimes have a true crime element of this podcast.
We do. We haven't had an update in a while with
You know,
what was happening in the bio.
I actually have to ask you guys about the West Virginia crime of the century. That's my fun fact for today. Is your thoughts on the West Virginia crime of the century? That pharmacist lady who killed her husband in the Ponzi scheme. It was on Court TV last week.
Really?
You guys might be the only West Virginia people I know that didn't watch it.
I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
I guess I did, and I forgot. Kind of like
Do you
Naomi
guys know
Watts.
about it?
Do y'all know about it? Oh my gosh, I forget her name now, but Cochran, I think, was her last name. Natalie Cochran.
She was a
Murderess.
pharmacist.
She was a pharmacist, and then she opened up a weapons dealing business.
That's
yeah,
in- that's in
it
line.
takes a turn.
Is
and
this? Was she convicted of this?
Oh yeah, both crimes.
I was just going to throw out
Both
alleged.
crimes. So she's nope, not alleged.
Okay.
Very much prosecuted and charged. She
she looked her up.
defrauded the government is what got her lost. Yeah, she's looking her up now. And then she got, what was it, 11 years? First, she was convicted for 11 years in 2019-ish, I believe, maybe 2021.
For dealing arms.
For fraud, for frauding the government and her investors. She was just embezzling the money.
Oh.
But she was also then worried that her husband was going to find out, so she killed him.
Oh,
rid
no.
of-
Yeah, so that took a minute, but then they were able to.
A few plot twists.
Not even that he
Yeah.
had found out. Just
No.
afraid he might.
Yes,
and on the
there's-
off
yeah.
chance he does, let's just take that one
there
off
was
the
no
table.
evidence that he was involved
Good
or
grief.
knew ahead of time.
I actually get it.
What do you think Danielle's into?
I don't know. I mean, I could make some guesses.
I wouldn't guess. I wouldn't even
No.
ask. I
don't
wouldn't
wanna
try
be
to
on
find.
the record.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. Okay. What about you, Chloe?
Yeah.
Free time.
When I'm not watching the crime of the century.
Yeah.
No, I like to cook and bake. I'm getting into baking. That's a little bit tougher than cooking.
Yeah.
So I'm tiptoeing into that.
Why is that? More
'Cause
patience?
I find
More
it's
exactness?
a science.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be very precise when you get to measurements and heat and time and things like that. Whereas cooking is kind of more of, do these things go together well?
Yeah.
How are you making it? Does that complement?
Do you watch the
different parts?
Great British Baking Show?
Not the
Me
Great
and my
British,
husband
no.
love the baking show.
Yeah, but I've watched other baking shows. I'm more of a cook. I like to watch like the competition shows, like
Fun
Chopped
fact.
or MasterChef, those kind of things, versus baking. But
Okay, so what did you bring with us today? What, did you get a
No,
cake or
nothing
anything?
today.
Let me ask you this question. What do you think is the most important part of being a leader, manager, a leader? How's that show up in your office? What's
Yeah,
the
I
key
think-
attributes?
I think I think the biggest thing is no ego. You got to come in and you got to be willing to do what everybody else underneath you is doing. In that way, it helps you be more empathetic to what they're going through and what they see every day. And when they call and say, well, this was the worst day I've ever had, you're not just rolling your eyes and going, okay. You can stop and think, well, they probably did this today. They probably did that. That's, not the best way to spend your day. So, it's probably frustrating. I can understand that. And I think coming in and being able to say, I don't want to do this part of the job, but if it has to be done, I'm going to step up and do it. I think that's a big part of being a leader.
Great answer.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Do you guys have the same shirt?
Similar shirts.
Yeah, similar.
It's mine is more of a V-neck
Did you notice
sweater.
that?
Yeah.
And yeah,
I have to say I did not. No.
I wore mine in yesterday, and so and Grace mentioned that she had a similar one, but I did not plan on wearing it today.
Good job.
Yeah.
All we've learned this episode is that I don't notice much. What about you, Grace?
I think I just think communication is huge wherever you are. Being more understanding in every situation is huge, whether it's with a caregiver, client, someone above you. It plays a big role in what we do. And I think the outcomes of a lot of what we do are very rewarding. And building that relationship, being more understanding, makes a great connection with everyone. Employees, boss, clients. It's a huge, important role.
Nice. Lay your ego to the side.
Put it down.
Make sure you communicate the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Just
Sometimes
talk
you
through
got to
it.
have some healthy, productive conflict.
Oh, it's so healthy.
Sometimes you got to be nice. Let me ask you this. What's the saddest thing that ever happened to you in your life?
In my life, or on the job?
Oh, never mind. Sorry about that.
We don't have time for that.
I just saw it was about to go off. Let's
Skip
see.
that question.
What, Aaron, throw us another. We got to have to start wrapping up
Yeah,
soon.
no, you're fine. I know before the cameras had kicked on, you guys were talking about recommendations you had for both your executive directors, how they could be better people. What was it? Let's run that back. And I was really surprised about some of the things you said about Philip, because I was like, geez, that's not the Philip I know, but you were adamant it was true. No, I'm kidding, of course. So,
You better watch out. You seen this picture?
oh, I saw him. I got to kick that door down right now with a sheriff's outfit on for some reason.
He did specifically ask. I also do 5 minutes of good talk about him.
You said
today.
that was
Why-
pretty much what it was, right?
Why
Yeah,
does-
that was exactly right. Yeah.
Why did AI decide to put a badge on
I
that
can't.
fella?
I cannot wait for this photo to be projected onto your
Yeah.
screens at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something right there.
Because he's kicking a door down. Who else
Yeah.
kicks down doors but the law?
Exactly.
Yep.
Let's think about that for a minute. Who else?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it right now.
Firemen.
Military.
Military, they kick doors down. Yeah, your mother could.
Parents.
Yeah,
Your mom, when she found out your snake got loose.
yeah. She said, "Willie, are you in there?"
Yeah.
Pow,
I would
kapow.
kick that door out.
Bail
Get me
bondsman.
Yeah, Dog
Yeah.
the Bounty Hunter. He's here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a lot.
Okay, so Chloe's given us the crime of the century that nobody had heard about.
No.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Sorry. It's not really a shock. I mean, Grace, do you have anything you've learned recently worth sharing? One odd fact known by a few?
I just, on our way here, we were talking about Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
I did not know the history behind that at all. So,
Hey, what happened yesterday, real quick?
saw
It was the Groundhog Day. He did see his shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
see,
we
I
got
have
more
no idea
winter.
what that means.
Yeah.
Okay, so the history behind it. You were. I interrupted you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
She learned she didn't know the history of it.
Yeah.
They did say on the news this morning that he has been correct less than 50% of the time.
Yeah.
really?
So think about that. I don't even know
Historically
why
wrong.
we're doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Well,
at
I
this
know
point.
why. Well,
So
it's
where
a big
we
day in
stand
our
now?
office.
Are we getting a long winter? No.
Yes, yeah. Well, he said that we did, but he's wrong more than 50% of the time.
Okay.
So I mean, it's 73 outside right now. If that tells you anything.
Right.
There you go. But yeah, it's a big day in our office. You know, it's a big day for Phils just around the world.
Okay.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Found out
see.
who that was.
I
yeah,
see.
she thought I just named the groundhog.
After Philip.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow. Well,
And as much as I like Philip, I don't know if I would have picked
My
him
exact
first,
reaction
but-
when she told me the name.
I wonder what version of Phil they're on by now. This has got to be like Phil 6.0 or
remember
something.
they dropped that one a couple years ago.
Killed him?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
bad day.
That's awful.
I watched them
Bad day for
yesterday,
Phils,
like
right.
because you got to kind of hold it up there, and they're not made for holding up in the air. I don't know
They're
if-
not.
they-
They're not light things.
No.
They're thick boys.
Hey, I've
Yeah,
got some pet groundhogs in my backyard. I feed them lettuce, everything else. Did the guys that held him up have on like the big top hats and the whole
yeah.
thing?
Oh, it's every year, yeah.
So yeah, I knew
Still
I
doing
didn't
it.
know any of this was a real thing.
Well, you know what you probably don't know also is sometimes at the end of the day, you'll wake up and be on the same day.
Same day.
You know anything about that?
Also known as Groundhog Day.
That's a real
Grace,
thing.
that's the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
She knew the movie.
Well, that's one of my favorite. I'm a big Bill Murray fan.
Yeah. It was not on TV last night. I'll
I'm a
tell you
big
that.
Naomi fan.
Can you name any film she's been in?
No. What is it? King Kong?
What, King
Was
Kong?
the one I came
just
up
Oh,
with.
that's
about
right.
King
Yeah.
Kong.
And she was
That was
in
the one
The
I pulled.
Ring 1 and 2. We did some research.
Oh,
before
that's
you-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's great.
She
What are we
has an
talking
acclaimed
about?
history.
Right before you got here.
I like her.
I
I just
have to imagine that interviewer was just horrible. If she's bringing up David Bowie,
Do you remember the
in
David Bowie
2025,
quote?
that's rough.
Yeah.
no.
That was one
I
thing
wish
you were,
David Bowie was still alive. He,
according to the story.
yeah, when he was
Rita, you were
alive,
very upset.
he said really interesting things, and he just seemed to know what was going on. And you were just like, goodness gracious.
Okay, I'm gonna fish this out real fast because I brought the newspaper. But as I do that, give us some final words of wisdom,
Oh yeah,
words to live by.
yeah. And this could be a quotable quote. This could be a
Me first.
yeah.
Doesn't matter.
My favorite is always the comparison is the thief of joy.
Ah,
Yeah. If you're too busy looking at everybody else, you'll never look at yourself.
Yeah.
You never see what is great in front of you.
don't we always feel that way? Always comparing.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Do you struggle with that still? You think
Not me so much.
Okay.
But
compared to others? Sorry. I'm sorry. It's not a good joke.
in comparison to everybody else in
Yes.
the world. No, because I try to just tell myself I'm on my own path, on my own time.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out when I figure it out.
Good, healthy view.
I will say
like
this
that.
is my favorite part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Is when
I
Jeff
was hoping
peruses
for
the
this
newspaper.
Oh yeah. Well,
I feel like it's. I started saying I know it was that because I stared at the back of that thing. There she is.
keep Naomi Watts
That
away
is
from
what
your
we
cats.
were talking about. Yes.
That is an inflammatory headline.
Yeah.
Well, she says, I've had dogs all my life, and I don't understand people that don't love dogs. I barely understand cat people, and I always root for dogs. And that's the way to get a lot of people mad at you right there. That's a statement, actually. That's pretty controversial.
Yeah.
Here's just a few tips from her, okay? Number 7, stay moisturized.
Fact. I'm going to co-sign
I
that
agree
one.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hydrated and moisturized.
Yep.
David Bowie, the first album I ever bought was Hunky Dory, and all those songs, every single one is amazing. Changes is the biggest and best in my nostalgic brain. It's so interesting to think of what he'd be doing now. I wish he was still around. I really do. When you see those little clips and interviews of him way back when, he just knew so much. He was on to something.
Yeah.
We had this whole conversation right before you got here.
I know.
Cooking.
Aaron really nailed
She's
the
talking about
quote.
cooking here.
He really nailed the quote.
She loves cooking.
Oh, that's why she's my
Chloe
favorite.
loves cooking.
You guys would be
Ding,
great.
ding, ding.
It's one of her favorite things is to eat at home with friends and have a great meal and great conversation. She tends to do roasts, so a lot of roast chicken and veggies.
It is very easy to do a roast.
It is.
You put it in
That's
and forget.
one of our favorites. Yeah.
You guys crock potters?
No.
Not
Wow.
when I have to. When it's
Wow.
the most convenient.
Only for Mississippi pot roast is what I use it for.
Yeah.
It's a very specific.
Do you like
state
pickleball?
The sport. Moderately.
potter. As opposed to the. Now, when you say pickleball, are you talking about
And
the
you
sport, or
saw
are you
my-
talking about the
Okay,
accessory?
Okay, well, so anytime I'm with Jeff, I feel like it's always a pop quiz of things I maybe don't know. And I remember the last time I was
Are you
here, we
kidding
played
me?
this fun round table game where Jeff said a bunch of words that are West Virginia words.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Toboggan.
did not know, toboggan, and I did not know a single one of them.
Well, that's me poking fun at
So I thought
myself. I
maybe.
mean, you ever do bananagrams?
No.
Well, Naomi does.
Big
Yeah.
fan of those.
That's why we love her.
There you
She's
go.
always doing stuff like that.
She's going to get a brand deal
That's
soon.
stuff that you didn't know before.
Do you think Naomi has any idea that she's being talked about on this international podcast?
Nope,
today?
and she doesn't care.
Ah.
Yeah.
I hope
Well.
it gets to her.
Did you have anything to add as far as a quotable quote?
I think the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated.
That's a fantastic one.
It keeps your head up. Like, I need to be great today. you never know what someone is going through. So
10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's a great one.
that quote lives in my head rent free.
Yeah, let it stay in there. Well, guys, this has been a ton of fun. Hopefully, it was worth the drive for you from the casket capital of the world and from
The Queen City.
The Queen City. Both of those things happen right there where you are.
They sure do.
Jeff,
Thank you all.
Oh,
Had
thank you
fun.
guys. Thanks.
I have to get out there and see you
Lots
soon.
of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
One of my all-time favorite restaurants ever
Yeah.
in Cincinnati,
Was
Boca.
ooh, it
Okay.
is good.
That's
yeah,
a
everybody
top-notch
loves Boca. Yeah.
World
That's a good
cuisine. Okay, all right.
I was hoping you were gonna say BJ's.
Well, no. Sorry, BJ. You want to get a sponsorship real quick before you sign off with that?
BJ's Brew House. Listen, Austin Stevens, personal friend of mine, was just
He's
at one of
getting
your
serious.
establishments the other day. Said it was exceptional. Said something about a free pizza offer was also occurring. BJ's, you're doing it just right. If you'd like to partner with us, just reach out to me. Get me on my socials. Thank you.
Thank you all.
I mean, at this rate, they should.
That's what I'm
We've
thinking.
had enough people. there.
Cheers.
Keep that in.
Oh, touch. Yeah. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.